Here, Graham, it's up, Hayden. What's you? Hi, my name's Hayden Walton. I'm 19, also, like one of the youngest people to apply, which is kind of to my advantage, I would think, and I'm a U.S. citizen. I've lived in Western New York all my life, but I've wanted to leave for a little while now, and just to show that, I created a spreadsheet to figure out what the cheapest state I could live in would possibly be if I made a ton of money. Right now, I take online classes at my local community college, but they're all online and don't have scheduled times that I have to meet for them, so they're pretty easy to work around. I was gonna move to Oregon to go to school there a while ago, but the illness. Recently, I worked at a Walmart to stack up a pile of money of sorts, and I quit there once I got too bored of it. My recent goals involve starting a podcast with my friend, which I did recently do, and it's called the Illegal Use of Hands to the Face podcast. It's a football podcast, so probably not interesting to you, but that was one of my goals, and we got it going. Now I just want to keep working on it for a while. Not a big commitment, though. And then the other thing that I've been doing recently is kind of getting my weight down because I was kind of heavy. Since the illness began, I got up to like 206 pounds at one point, and then I got all the way down to 187.6 as of yesterday, the last time I checked. In high school, I had a 4.0 GPA. In college, currently, haven't been as try hard, I guess, so only a 3.5 GPA for college, and I got a 1340 on my SAT, which means I'm not quite Ivy League. It puts me into the 95th percentile, but so sadly, if you're looking for somebody from an Ivy League school, it's not me. In high school, I participated in a lot of things that had to do with speaking in public and or speaking to large groups, so I'm really comfortable speaking around anyone if that's anything I'd ever need to do. I participated in mock trial in high school, then also Scholar Bowl, which is like a um, academic team type of thing, and I did the announcements at my school for all 4 years I was in high school, which is really the key thing that like made speaking to large groups of people very easy for me. Since I graduated in New York State, I also got an advanced Regents diploma with honors, which means that the advanced portion means that I took classes that are considered more challenging, and Regents with honors means that my grades were high enough that I got that distinction as well. But as we know, in the real world, the grades don't matter that much, and even though, Graham, you did not do extremely well in high school, you obviously still have become very successful, so that really does not matter at all. So maybe hopefully I can end up like you one day. I also played football in high school, and I think that was important because it shows a little bit of a different part of me than what my GPA just says. I was an all star, I was also a captain for the team, and I I had a team voted award called the Varsity Award that I won twice, which was basically a recognition award from my teammates for doing more than just like play on the field, but other things as well. So that award really meant a lot to me, especially because my teammates gave it to me my junior and senior year. And then on top of that, I also got a sportsmanship award and a championship game for our football team. So that was pretty nice because it shows another part of the sport that you don't really think about very often, where you can still be a decent guy. My father owns a milk hauling business, and it's actually grown fairly large to this point. He has expanded it from hugely from where his father actually initially started it. But I've never really been interested in that, and I've always kind of wanted to go down my own path, so having an opportunity with you would be tremendous. Another thing that makes me fairly marketable to your audience, now this is given the fact that I don't know whether or not the person you're hiring would appear in videos, and I'm guessing most of the time they wouldn't. That's fine. But I don't swear at all, and I just don't see a reason to. It's kind of something I just decided over time that I wouldn't swear anymore, and that's pretty YouTube friendly, so I think that's a pretty good advantage for me. I also don't drink or do any drugs or have any intention to start doing any of those things in the future. Mostly because, well, as you know, they're just horrible expenses. Like, gosh, if that appeared on a credit card statement, that would not be good. And then also, on top of that, um, how would I be able to use my Roth IRA if I'm dead before I can even use it? Live longer, right? I'm generally a person that's in a good mood, but I'm pretty mellow about it sometimes, so you may not be able to tell that much, but usually I'm in a good mood, which is a good thing. The only other part of that is that I'm more of a realist rather than an optimist. So I think about things how they'll more than likely actually go down and not like the best case scenario more. So I think I bring about like a pretty unique perspective as well in any situation really that I'm involved in. I think my ideas tend to be different from just, your average everyday person. I mean, if you really want a good look at this, just go take a look at some of my previous videos on this channel. Two of them are the stock market is on sale, and the other one is why Lil Uzi Vert is my financial advisor. I think I can create and come up with some really different out there things that other people don't think of, and am unique in my own way. Another positive for me is that I think I pick things up pretty quickly and I learn pretty quickly generally. So if you need to teach me something new, like you said, something you don't know already that I need to figure out myself, I think I can do it. A good example of this is just in November, I really had no idea how to put a computer together, and then I decided that I wanted to build my own. So over the course of like 2 weeks, I did the research over like 1 week, and then I bought all of the parts, and then I came to my house and I put it all together all by myself. And then on top of that, I actually ended up uh, mocking up one for my friend who also wanted one, and then he bought all his parts, and then I put it together for him. So, yeah, I think I can learn pretty quickly. The pieces of the job that probably would seem like the most difficult to you are actually things that I don't think I would have much trouble with. Like the fact that I have to move, that's really not that big of a deal to me because I'd really want to move for a while now, and I think actually moving would probably help me be more productive in my life. And traveling back and forth, like Las Vegas to Los Angeles, I'd be fine with that too. I mean, you got to do what you got to do for work, so that's cool with me. And I completely understand being on call 24/7 because, like I said, with my dad owning a milk hauling business, he basically is on call 24/7 with any problems that occur with that. So I'm pretty used to that. And like you say, with the weird hours occurring for the job, like potentially an 8 p.m. random call up for a podcast setup, whatever we have to do, I'm pretty productive. I can be productive no matter what time of the day it is. I mean, I've had things that I do like homework all night or exercise in the middle of the night or middle of the day, school days, whatever, early mornings, late nights, whatever have it. I've pretty much experienced with all of it, so none of it could really surprise me. And then this job would become my top priority immediately once I got it, if I got it. And my schedule is perfect to join it because right now all I'm basically have that I have to attend to basically is my college stuff. But since all my college stuff is not on a schedule, I could still do all your work full time and then just do the college stuff on the side, at least for the beginning, and potentially lessen the college stuff and do more work for you later. So I worked at Walmart recently, like I said, for about 6 months straight, and I worked 40 hours a week there, and I was able to do college at the same time. So that's another good proof that I could do both at the same time, at least for the time being, while it was still a crossover period if that happened. But also on top of that, I never missed a day until I notified the staff that I was gonna be leaving or quitting. I didn't miss a day prior to that, so I'm pretty reliable, and I know your job would interest me a lot more than stocking shelves at Walmart would, so I can almost guarantee you that I would always be available. Just in terms of a list of things that you said you had to complete for this job, in terms of why you should hire me, is email upkeep. Basically, you said that you need to respond and check emails. I love that. I mean, my email is actually like perfectly clean a while back. I went through and I took all my email accounts that I have for various things and I cleaned them all out. And now that they're all like well organized and just set up properly, it makes me feel a lot better. So email upkeep is definitely something I can do. I've been editing videos basically since like um, somewhere between like 2010 and 2012, which is insane because I'm 19 years old and that was like 11 years ago almost. If it was 2010, that's what I'm leaning towards. But there's an old video that my mom posted on her YouTube channel that if I can find a picture of, I'll post and or I'll put in this video, and then you can see that I've literally been editing YouTube videos for that long. But not crazy high quality stuff ever. So I mean, maybe there would still be room for improvement. I mean, there's always room for improvement in almost everything, and I think that's a good mindset to have as well. Um, I love listening to the podcast, and I think editing the podcast would be very easy for me as well because all it really would take, especially because I'm sitting in the room, editing it would be so much easier. I'm helping you set it up right, and then while you're filming the podcast or recording it, however you want to put it, I can take notes on it, and then I can use those notes once I'm going back through and editing it to remember everything that I need to do throughout the video. Setting up for the podcast would also be fairly easy for me. I mean, I'm pretty good with chords, as like I said, I was able to build my own computer, so I can figure out chords pretty well fairly quickly based on where they go and whatnot. And then on top of that, if there's any heavy equipment or heavy lifting that you'd have to do, which I can't imagine it would ever be that ridiculous or over the top, I'm sure that I could be helpful with that. But I'd also be happy to work with sponsors because I think it's really a cool way you'd be able to just have some creativity in the fact that you would be able to figure out how you want to display someone else's product to get people to buy it, and that'd be a fun task to deal with. But also along those lines, it'd also be fun just to deal with the sponsors as like the intermediate between you and them, whether that's through email, like you said, or whatnot, what else it could be. I think that'd be pretty enjoyable because then you'd be able to get to see a lot of products. I'd be able to tell you all about what type of offers we're getting for them, and then like what are some good products that we haven't heard of that you'd get to potentially show off on your channel and or other places, and it would be fun. As for someone running errands for you, I'm completely fine with that. I did 3 months at the beginning of 2020 before the illness struck. I was actually delivering groceries for Instacart on like weekends and after school when I had the opportunities to make some money, and I had pretty solid ratings, and if I can still pull them up because it's been a while, I'll throw them up on the screen. I don't know if this is still going to be a part of the job or if this position was already filled, but when you asked about an intern a while back, you were asking about Excel spreadsheets and or Google Sheets. Um, I I have taken classes for Excel, and I'm pretty used to them, and I'm pretty used to spreadsheets, and I actually enjoy them a decent amount. There's probably more I could learn about them, but if you needed anyone to work on those also, I think I could also help with that. A lot of people's ideas for you to help you grow in the future have to do with basically just reaching more, like expanding your TikTok platform and or just adding podcast clips to your podcast channel on YouTube, so that people would have like shorter stuff to intake, and you could gain more viewership still through those shorter mediums. But I think that there's a lot more, like those are very simple things, and I think a lot of people can come up with those things, and that's not very complicated. I feel like given the chance to come in, see everything that you've got going, and everything that's going on around there, just from what I know now, and then still, I could probably be a lot more innovative than a lot of other people and see a lot of things that a lot of the other people wouldn't see, unlike those fairly simplistic things that I already mentioned. I mean, I've got lists in my notes app of just ideas I have of like entrepreneurship type things that you could potentially go into, and I just keep those in mind in case I ever want to maybe have a investor in them or something. And the last few things. Everybody was posting about laundry, so I don't know if this was actually true because I didn't see it from anything you posted, but if anyone really does need help with laundry, I can actually help with that. I didn't actually see your mention of it, but other people were saying it, so I will say that I'm fine with that. I can do laundry for people if they need it. Then references and contact info. If you need any references at all, I would be happy to send you at least 3 or 4 um, if you contact me. If you want to contact me, my Instagram, because I think that's the best place to that I can see that it's actually you and your account's verified and whatever. Or Jack or whoever. My Instagram is Hayden_Walton, but there is a 4 in the place of the A in my first name and a 0 in the place of the O in my last name. So, lastly, I'll be disappointed if I don't get the job. But if I don't get the job, I promise you, I will still smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm.
So, if you enjoyed the video, thanks for watching.
2020 president candidate.